Hey, what's up DIYers, Mike Borders with the Mike Borders channel. Thank you for watching. In today's video, we are talking about the P0456 error code and the common causes that lead to that code being triggered and turning on your check engine light. Let's take a look. We're outside and in front of us is our 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. Let's hop inside the vehicle and continue the project. Next, what I did was turn the engine off and I grabbed our OBD2 scanner. This is the Bosch brand, and DIYers, down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase this. This is awesome. I can't tell you how many times this has come into play and helped us during our DIY repair videos over the years. However, coming down closer, let's take a look at the actual OBD connection port. As you see, the shape of it and the cable. Coming up and under to our actual port installed in the vehicle, we are going to align this properly, come up and secure it, and get it in there firmly, and that will actually automatically turn on our OBD scanner. As you see, let's take a closer view, and we are going to perform a vehicle diagnostic, and I'm going to select enter, and we are going to select the auto ID, enter, and please turn the key off for 10 seconds, then turn the key on. Press enter to continue. Coming back up top and down to the ignition or engine start stop, we are going to select it once, and in 5 seconds we are going to select it again, because coming up top right now, although it turns on our instrument cluster, it is not turned on the ignition. So now coming back down, pushing it one more time, and as you see, ignition or accessory on. Coming back down to the OBD scanner, I'm going to select enter, and I'll hop in the vehicle to alleviate that beeping. Inside the vehicle, coming back down and selecting enter, and it is now communicating with the vehicle. Making progress, the IM or ignition monitor tests are complete. Press enter to continue. And we now have our quick test results, OBD2 4 codes, and select enter. And the first one is P0456. Let's take a closer view of it. Evaporative emission system leak detected, very small leak. That is the first of 4 and confirmed. All right, DIYers, hey, quick break in the action. And again, this is the first of 4 codes. However, in this video, we are going to focus solely on the P0456. And that's because in our case, the additional 3 codes have to do with the transmission and really have nothing to do with the EVAP system, which is short for the evaporative emission system. And again, as you can see in parentheses, it says we have a very small leak. That's much better than a large leak. Stepping out of the vehicle into the driver's rear, where in our case our fuel door or access door to the fuel filler neck is, and all we're going to do is push on it and open it up and just check the overall condition of this little rubber seal. And in our case, it's dirty, very dusty, a lot of grime in there, and it goes the whole way around. And you can grab some WD-40, spray it on a shop towel or rag, and carefully, don't aggressively clean it and damage it, just carefully clean all the dust off of this rubber seal right here. This rubber seal basically creates a airtight seal right here, and the EVAP system relies on that heavily. And since we're here, check this out, that is damaged, and that could be causing it, because that creates a seal right here when the little probe inserts inside the little spring-loaded lock there. We will see. However, coming inside here, here's the flap I'm mentioning, and if I carefully compress this in, you will see a green rubber seal inside there, as you see, and that is very important when creating an airtight and fuel-tight or liquid-tight seal for your EVAP system to operate as designed. And in the event that this no longer spring-loads closed, that's an issue. However, ours is really spring-loading closed in an aggressive and strong manner, as you see there. Taking a step back, again, just a couple things to double check, and if it's very dirty in here, grab a vacuum and just dust it out or clean it out. You don't want this entire insert very dirty. But again, that could be causing the issue. And DIYers, you can actually replace this seal as well as this little corrugated or grommet style boot or bellow, and hopefully that will solve your issue. But if it doesn't, let's hop inside the engine compartment. I want to show you where your EVAP purge control valve is. However, taking a step back, and as you just saw, I carefully repositioned the rubber bellow or boot, and again, it's ripped. You can see it. However, it's not completely ripped in two. And so by reconfiguring that or placing the rubber bellow over the little probe, I'm going to carefully close that. Making our way to the front of the vehicle, open up the hood, coming inside the engine compartment where you see the large plastic cover that has the 3.6 liter icon on it. And that cover is held in with, in most cases, 2 to 3 screws. You can see the front two there. However, coming to the back, and our EVAP purge control valve is right behind here and under that cap. As you can see right there and to the right, you see the connection with the little red tab on it. And if you follow that to the left, you can see the EVAP purge control valve. In DIYers, it's probably impossible or extremely difficult and tedious and inconvenient to replace that part with the top cover on it, but I wanted to show you the actual valve that's causing your issue. Long story short, as that valve weakens and wears out, the internal mechanism can get stuck in a unique position and not allowing airflow to pass through it properly and as designed. However, coming up and back to the front of the vehicle, again, by carefully removing that top plastic cover, you can gain much better, friendly and convenient access to that part to replace it. Scrolling above right now, as well as down below in the comments and description, video link number 1 will be a link to a video on showing the exact replacement steps to replace that. We will remove this top cover and replace that valve. Taking a step back, what you can do next before replacing any parts, you can perform a system reset and come to your main primary battery, which in our case, it is right there, the larger of the two. And to the left of that, we've got a small auxiliary battery. As you see, we will leave that alone, come over to your main primary battery and disconnect and remove fully the negative cable from your battery. Leave disconnected for about 5 minutes and then re-secure it. And that should, again, perform a system reset and hopefully get your EVAP system reset. However, if it doesn't, we are going to replace the purge control valve. And if we have to, well, we'll have to order the part. And if we do actually have to do that, we will show that part in the video. DIYers, we're halfway through the replacement process of the EVAP purge control valve, and there it is right there, as you can see. And the top plastic cover right there. Again, definitely check out that video. We'll show you everything that's involved with the replacement process.